Hi, everybody. So my name is Sierra Jones, and today I'm going to be discussing the Coping Together program, which is a family therapy intervention. So Coping Together was originally created in response to one of the biggest challenges of 2020, which was the pandemic. And to give you a little background, my research lab at Duke studies interventions to improve family relationships and child well-being, specifically in low-resource settings. And so at the end of 2020, we sent out a family well-being survey to families throughout the US South to gauge how they were responding to the pandemic. So we collected data from 1,073 parents from 18 states across the US South, and most of the participants were located in North Carolina. Overall, we saw that families were struggling pretty much on all fronts. So kids were experiencing challenges adjusting to the online schools, parents were experiencing feelings of isolation, and both parents and children experienced mental health struggles. And there was an overall consensus amongst families that their relationships with each other were also strained. And I put some data behind that as well. 72% of parents reported that their child's mental health had worsened over the course of the pandemic. And when we focused on a couple specifically, 46% of couples reported deterioration in their relationship quality and felt distant or withdrawn from their spouse. And so these findings led our team to create Coping Together, which, as I mentioned before, is a lay-delivered family strengthening therapy intervention. And it was really important to us that the intervention was lay-delivered. And this was done to keep both the program costs low, but also to make sure that the content was delivered by someone who was relatable and familiar to participants. So as far as the program structure and how it works, in its creation, we wanted Coping Together to be both virtual, collaborative, and fun. And so participants in the program met in a group of 3 to 4 other families online for 1 hour each week. There were 8 sessions in total, and in each session, families learn problem-solving skills, communication techniques, and do various activities that focus on strengthening the family and helping them connect. And this brings us to the what. So what was our main goal in Coping Together? In Coping Together, we think of families like we think of trees. And the basic idea is that a healthy tree represents a healthy family. And so importantly, trees, much like families, face harsh conditions like storms. And storms can be things like illness, loss of loved ones, or financial problems. So our ultimate goal of Coping Together is to create strong, growing, and healthy families that are resilient and can remain connected through even the toughest of storms. And so now that you know more about the program, I'm going to tell you a little bit about how it went when we ran the first trial of the program. So we had 16 full families or 48 individual family members from across the Durham area. And we're currently in the process of analyzing all the data about how the program went, but from our interviews and preliminary findings, we saw that the program was a success and participants did enjoy it. We also saw increases in family communication, closeness, and levels of hope for the future from pre to post intervention. And from the graphs on the slide, you can see that on average, participants agreed that they enjoyed the program, thought it was relevant, and thought that what they learned would benefit their family for a long time. So in terms of conclusions, recommendations, and next steps, I hope I've adequately described the scope of the mental health crises and overall problem that we are facing in North Carolina and more broadly in the United States. And so now is the time when we need to start thinking about what recovery will look like in a post-pandemic world. We need more programs that families can turn to better their communication, become closer, and more connected. Intervention programming for families needs to be both flexible and adaptable. And this means leveraging both online and in-person models of delivery, just in case there may be another surge during the pandemic. We don't ever want to have another period where families are completely going without care ever again. And so with that, thank you.